sure you guys know there has been a huge asserted attempt to repeal Obamacare ever since it was implemented. The House had attempted to appeal it 60 times while Obama was in office. Of course, it failed because if it made it through the House, which sometimes it didn't, Obama would just veto it, so it wouldn't pass. And it led to government shutdowns because the Tea Party would say, hell no, we have to attempt to repeal this thing, but former Speaker John Boehner knew it wouldn't pass. So effectively, when government shutdowns happen, the Republicans or whoever it is that's obstructing it effectively is going to get their approval ratings drop because people can't get their government benefits, which most of the times they need. So anyways, Bernie Sanders coming in saying that he's, quote, absolutely going to introduce single-payer healthcare. By the way, I wrote an article on the Huffington Post about this, so link will be in the description. Check it out. But let's read into this. So, The Hill says, Senator Bernie Sanders said Sunday that he will, quote, absolutely introduce legislation on single-payer healthcare now that the Senate GOP's bill to repeal Obamacare has failed. Now, if you recall, they tried starting out by doing the repeal and replace. That failed in the House, and then the Senate decided, well, it passed the House. Then the Senate decided, fuck it, we're going to make our own bill. That didn't work out. Then in the process, they decided, fuck it, we're going to nuke it. That didn't work either. And then recently you had the, quote, skinny repeal bill because they wanted to, it seemed more like they were just kind of trying to pander to their conservative base, or their evangelical base, I should say, because it was pretty big actually. It would repeal the individual and employer mandate, and it would also cut Planned Parenthood funding, which is pretty crazy. Many people who are in poor areas trying to get things like cancer screenings and birth control, sex protection, etc., would not be able to get it as a result of that. But they continue, they say, of course we are. We're tweaking the final points of the bill, and we're figuring out how we can mount a national campaign to bring people together, Sanders told Jake Tapper on CNN's State of the Union. Sanders promised to introduce a, quote, Medicare for All proposal once the debate over repealing Obamacare ended. He is one of several progressive lawmakers who back the healthcare model that has divided Democratic lawmakers. So there's currently a bill in the House that they're trying to get a vote on. I believe they're trying to get enough votes. I think it's H.R. 671. I think. I don't know how I would remember that number. It's truly remarkable on my memories part. But it is a Medicare for All system. So this is really great because, and here's why. Now that we've won in the term, with the 3 GOP senators voting no, and Mitch McConnell saying it's time to move on, we need to move forward. We have to become affirmation. We can't be simply opposition or obstruction. So what we need to do now is move forward. Well, first of all, if you can't get, here's the thing. I don't like the way that the Democrats are running right now, where they say, hey, where the Democrats say, hey, let's just make improvements to Obamacare. I think that is bad. I think that what we need to do is move towards a single-payer healthcare system, because as you saw, we were literally 3 GOP senators away from having a skinny repeal of Obamacare. And prior to that, it was the same situation for a full-on repeal of Obamacare. So if you're that close to effectively taking away what you've worked for 8 years, and now it's going to be 9 years, or it'll actually be like 8 because it wasn't past the first day of Obama's presidency. But you get the point. So we need to move towards this, not only because then the Republicans can't repeal it just like Social Security, but also it's the way to move forward, because that is the ideal system, and that's the truth of the matter. Public options would be great, but could you imagine trying to get 50 public options? It's virtually impossible. So Bernie Sanders virtually coming to the rescue here to propose a Medicare for All plan. What's up, guys? It's Saul Hill here. You guys are watching The Progressive Voice. Make sure you guys click subscribe down below. We're fighting Donald Trump tooth and nail, and we need your help.